Hello my crafty peeps, it's Cheyenne from PixieCrafter.com. Welcome to my channel. Remember, you can shop my online store 24/7. The link is in the description bar below. If there are any specific Stampin' Up! Products you would like to see me demonstrate, feel free to leave a comment. And let's go ahead and get started with today's video. So I have been wanting to do a shaker card. I do not have any of the new sequins from the new catalog yet, so I will be using the sprinkles, but feel free to go ahead and get the iridescent sequins instead. It's a good alternative to it. This is the closest that I actually have, but that's what I would recommend, and that's what I would use if I had them. Alright, what are we going to be using for our shaker card? So let's go over these stamp sets first. We're going to be doing some texture on the background with our timeless texture stamps. So probably going to be using this little in bit, and I'm thinking maybe this little fleur-de-lis little guy over here. I love those two. So well, I love all of them so much. All right, we've got our Jar of Love bundle. You're going to want both. So we're using the largest jar, and I went ahead and I stamped it and I cut it out, and I like to stamp my jars in Soft Sky ink, so you'll need some of that. And then I've already got a piece of window sheet that I cut out using the same big die, the big mason jar die, so that's already cut out and ready to go. See, what else are we going to need? We are going to need this little image here. This is a two-step stamp for the flower, so we need this one and that one there. We're going to be using that little sprig of flowers, of greenery, and this one too. Let's see, what else? I think that's it for the stamps. Alright, so we're going to need the coordinating die to cut out the flowers, and then we're also going to need this little guy. Now this one is going to go into the center of this, and he's going to cut it out and he's going to make that beautiful window piece for us. So only on the big one are we able to do that. Alright, so we've gone over all of that stuff. Of course, going to need snail, our foam strips. Love these for doing shaker cards, makes it so easy, and some fine tip glue pen. Alright, paper. We've got a very vanilla thick cardstock for our card base. It is cut at 1 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2, so we've got a nice top folding card there. I like top folding cards, they're fun. Alright, and then for our next layer, this is Bermuda Bay. It is cut at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, so it's going to give us just a little like 1/8 inch border around our card. And then we've got a piece of Whisper White, and this is 3 3/4 by 5, so there'll be about 1/4 inch of that Bermuda Bay popping out to say hello. Alright, and then we're going to need scrap Whisper White. It's got to be enough so that you can do your jar and all of your flowers, so that's the only contingency there. Alright, let's go over ink colors, because we are going to be very ink heavy today. Not only do we do the Soft Sky for our jar, but we're doing Early Espresso and Soft Suede. We're going to need stamping sponges for both of those, Pear Pizzazz, and then to celebrate some of our new in colors, we've got Berry Burst, Powder Pink, and Wisteria Wonder for the flowers. So alright, let's get started by stamping those flowers. Let's get as much of our big shot stuff done. Oh, I also have the Stampin' Scrub and Stampin' Mist to clean my stuff as I go. So, alright, let's get started. I need my blocks. I gotta pull over my Razcog cart. Alright, let's see. Good blocks for these. Let's do our flowers, because that's really the only thing that we're going to be cutting out right at this point. Alright, I'm going to be doing some stamping off, so I'm just going to grab a scrap piece of paper here to do my stamping off with. Grid paper is so wonderful for this. So alright, let's start off with our Berry Burst. Okay, so for the big one, like this is the background one. So this we want to be lighter. So we're going to stamp off on this. So here is our berry burst. Get that nice and inked up, and then stamp off. And then we're going to go ahead and stamp on just like that. And I'm going to do 2 of each. I'm probably not going to use them, but I want enough flowers, but we've got 3 colors, so you are always supposed to work in odd numbers, but I think just the flowers themselves would be odd enough. Alright, and now we've got that little guy, and he just goes right over here, and we're going to use him at full strings. So we get that nice little fun flower shape. Alright, so that's our berry burst, and we're going to go ahead and do that with the powder pink and the Wisteria Wonder, same thing. Alright, so there we have them all stamped and everything, so nice little color combinations. I do find that there's really no wrong place for this little second piece as long as it's within the flower shape. Like it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to be perfect and exact, so don't try to be, because you're going to drive yourself crazy doing that. Oh, all right. Now we can go ahead and bring the big shot in and get that all done. Now, since we are cutting out stamped images, I do recommend that you have the magnetic platform. It comes in handy, let me tell you. So we are also going to get our little jar that I've already stamped, but you would go ahead and stamp this in your soft sky and cut it out, and then we're going to go ahead and get that guy, the center guy, on here. Just line him up. This is also where that magnetic platform really comes in handy, so that's good and locked in. Alright, and now we are just going to go ahead and cut all of these out, and we will be back. Alright, so now we have all of our little pieces cut out. We're going to go ahead and set all of these aside, and let's bring in that piece of Whisper White that is, what was it, 3 3¾ by 5, and we're going to start to do some stamping and some fun stuff. Actually, let's bring back in the jar here, because we need a little bit of a point of reference. So I'm going to have that, because yeah, I want that about there. So I'm going to grab my pencil, if I can find it. There it is. And I am just going to softly outline our little jar here. So there we go. There's our jar. You could also have used the actual die to do that. Alright, let's get our pear pizzazz, and we're going to do some Stampin' Off on this as well, so that we can get the most out of our inks. So this little spray here, I want it to be lighter, and I also, okay, yeah, that'll be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and ink it all up, stamp off, and then I'm just going to get a little bit of spray of this going, just to help to fill in the background a little bit. Alright, and now we're going to do one more of that. I'm going to offset it just a little bit. Try to make it look more like an actual flower arrangement. Alright, and then we're going to use the one where it's just the 5 leaves on it, and we're just going to use this full strength to get some more in there. I'm also paying attention to where everything's going to fall there as well, because you will see it. So that's it for the pear pizzazz. Now time to get on our fun texturizing. So we've got our early espresso and our soft suede, and we're going to get our timeless texture stuff out now. Alright, so we've got our timeless textures. Now I'm going to take soft suede. I'm going to ink up the little edge guy, and I'm just going to go around the edge. And I am going to do some double stamping so we can have some texture going on. Alright, now I'm going to take that fleur de lis sort of guy in the early espresso and just get this kind of peeking through in a couple places. We're just building up some texture and some depth. Alright, now let's take our soft suede and our Stampin' sponge, and we're just going to go ahead and ink up those edges just a little bit. Alright, now I'm going to do a little bit with the early espresso too. Not too much, I just want a little bit of extra depth in some places. Alright, so there's that. And now I'm also, because I can't stop myself, I'm going to take my distressor. You can use your scissors if you don't have something like this, or even a nail file. You can just distress the edges up. I kind of feel that the scissors are the closest to this effect. You just open them up and you kind of go as if you are curling ribbon. Just be careful that you don't cut yourself. That's one of the reasons why I do prefer this one. It's just for safety concerns for me. I need my fingers. I've cut myself enough as a cosmetologist. I'm good. I'm good. I don't need to do it anymore. Alright, so let's get that little bit of a mess put aside. And now I'm going to take the early espresso and get a little bit of extra early espresso on those edges. I don't want it to completely take up the white, but I don't want that white to be like all the way shining through either. Alright, so that's that step done. Alright, now it's time to start building our shaker. I'm going to bring you in a little bit for that. Alright, so first thing you're going to do, that's the front of our little mason jar. We need the back of it, and we need to go ahead and glue on our piece of window sheet onto this, which should be pretty easy since it is the exact same size and shape of this. So I've just got my fine tip glue pen. Clean this off, make sure there's nothing too crazy on this window sheet. And then I'm just going to line it up, drop it in place, and I am going to use an acrylic block to weigh it down and kind of feel like this is something that needs to happen. So let's let that dry and then we'll finish everything up. Alright, so that didn't take too long, like maybe a minute for it to dry. So now let us take our foam strip, and I'm using the edges of this because you can do that. So I need to cut off that little bit. Alright, and now these are the perfect size to do our little shakers. Now we're just going to go right around our window here, being patient with the foam tape and ourselves. But it does go around very simply. There we go. Now we're right at the edge, so we're going to go ahead and give that a snip so that our sequins don't have any room to escape, because they like to do that. They like to go and spread themselves throughout the world, much like glitter, and make everybody happy, and fun. Alright, now let's go ahead and take that paper backing off because we are going to get our sprinkles. Alright, now the outline comes in handy very much at this point. So we kind of have an idea. I'm actually going to erase down that outline just a little bit more. I want to be able to see it a little bit, but not anything too crazy, because our outline's going to, our bit's going to go over it, but I don't want the outline to show through. Alright, now we are just going to carefully open up our sprinkles embellishments. Oh, aren't those gorgeous? I love these. Alright, and now we're just going to sprinkle the sprinkles right into the center. And I want a goodly amount of sprinkles going on. And I'm also trying to break them up because they're a little bit stuck together. I love the sequins and the little pearls that are in here. Alright, that's so pretty, and I can't help myself. I've got to go to one of my non-Stampin' Up! Ones. I've got these little iridescent stars that I want to add in. Not so much for the stars, but I just want that little iridescent fun going on. Alright, and now we are just going to simply take our jar. Ooh! Looks like I've got a little something on there. Let me see if I can get that off. Especially if it's on the inside. That would never come off. Alright, I've got it on. Let's get it nice and pressed down. There. Alright, so there's that nice little shaker bit to it. Come on. I know you don't want to just be stuck there. There we go. So that is so much fun at the bottom. Alright, well now we have our flowers. So we're also going to need our dimensionals. I forgot about the dimensionals. I'm not sure how, but I did. Alright, so I've got the end pieces that I've gone ahead and I've cut to form half guys. So I'm just going to go in and start popping these on. Alright, so there's the flowers on. I'm kind of feeling like the flowers need a little something. So of course, I'm going to grab my Wink of Stella and just do like a little something kind of in the center area of each. Just to give it just a little something, something. Alright, let's assemble the rest of our card. Let's actually open up the snail adhesive. That helps so much. Now since this has, you know, a little extra embellishment on it, it's a little bit heavier. I want to make sure to get enough adhesive on there. And we'll just center that down like that. You could also use the fast fuse if you're worried about the adhesive not holding up. Actually, before we do that, you know, let's do some sentiment stamping. Hold on a second. Alright, so I just grabbed the Bermuda Bay stamp set. So there's this little hey in the Jar of Love stamp set. So let's just go ahead and get that little guy up there. And then there's this friend sentiment. So we'll just quickly stamp, "Hey friend," and then we can go ahead and fill out our sentiment and, or our, you know, whatever we want to write on it, and it'll be fantastical. Actually, well, we've got this too. Why not? Let's go ahead and we get some flowers in here. So I'm going to go ahead and actually use the other flowers on this. It's two little guys. So just like the rest of the stamping, we're going to stamp off that first solid little bit. Alright, here we've got the inside of the card. I've been trying to do more inside of the card stuff. Just because I think it really does help. All those extra little details. So here we go. We're just going to get that on there just like so. And now, let's see here. I have got, if you watched my last video, I did a whole bunch of these little tags. So let's see here. Maybe let's do this little bless your heart and actually get a little heart. Now I have from the Jar of Love set 2, the bundle, there's a strip where it does these little hearts. So I went ahead and did a whole bunch of those hearts out of real red. So let's go ahead and get this guy, well, these guys on. So I've got some snail on there, and it's going to be hanging off the edge a little bit, and I'm okay with that. Actually, maybe I will build up that end a little bit. Actually, you know what would be perfect for this? I've got little pieces of the foam strip. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut off just a little bit of that and get it behind that sentiment so it's not just kind of hanging out over the edge of the cliff. It's okay for Lady Gaga to be on the edge of glory, but maybe not her sentiment. Alright, now grab my tweezers for my little heart, and this is a perfect time for the fine tip glue pen. Get that on there. Just a little boop. And there we go. I'm going to go ahead and call this. No. False alarm, false alarm. We need some Wink of Stella on that heart. There we go. Alright, so again, if you want to see how I did these, go ahead and watch my last video. It's about how to use your scraps to go ahead and pre-make sentiment strips. It's one of the things that you can do when you want to get into your craft room, but you're not feeling creative. So this is a good way to get the creative juices flowing. Oh, alright, that is it for today's card. It's a fun little shaky action. We've got the inside decorated. Feel free to go ahead and decorate a card. We do have the very vanilla medium envelopes that this would fit. You can go ahead and pop on some of these flowers if you wanted to make it nice and pretty. Oh, alright, that's it for today's project. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Feel free to leave any comments that you may have. I love constructive criticism. I also loved hearing you guys gush about how much you love my work. It really inspires me and encourages me to keep going. Oh, alright, remember, a full list of the products I use can be found in the description bar below. You can also head on over to pixiecrafter.com and find the coordinating blog post and find out more information about it, see more photos if you want. You can shop my online store 24/7. Let's see what else. While you're over at pixiecrafter.com, feel free to sign up for my monthly newsletter. If you are a U.S. resident, you can also sign up for my birthday club, and I will send you a handmade birthday card in your birthday month as a thank you and a show of appreciation, because I do really appreciate you guys supporting my small business. All right, follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and until next time, happy crafting!